Okay, you guys are all going to think I'm mad. I've got a 100 to 400 lens on the tripod. I've got a 2x teleconverter, and I've got about 26 millimeters of extension tubes on there, all mounted on my poor little camera and giving it a hard time with the amount of light that's absorbing. I think I'm at f16 as the widest aperture under this scenario. But I'm going to try something different. This is what we do at times like this. So today's video is about macro photography, in this case some flowers in the garden, and this beast of an arrangement. Never done this before, I don't know what the outcome will be, but we'll give it a try and see what sort of results we get. It's either that or this lockdown's getting me and it's mentally affecting me and I've just gone mad, basically. But we'll see. Well, that's the first problem. It's windy out here. Great. So I'm trying to take some pictures of these flowers in front of me here, and they're moving too quickly. I won't be able to get a shot. It's not staying still long enough. The beauty of having this arrangement, as mad as it might seem to put this long telephoto lens on and also 2x converter and also 26 millimeters of extension tube, is I can get as close to these flowers by being about best part of a metre away from them. Now that's handy because it's not easy to get close to flowers, and macro close in is quite difficult, but I've got the camera set up on the tripod here and it's actually quite easy to frame that. My only problem being at the moment, it's windy and it keeps moving. It keeps moving quite a lot actually. And I've got ISO 50 set. F11's the widest this combination's giving me, although I think that's probably faulty because the extension tubes have probably not been taken into account. And I've got a 30th of a second. And a 30th of a second isn't going to freeze even the slightest movement that I'm seeing. So that's a bit of an issue. I might have to move to a bit more secluded part of the garden and try a different set of flowers that are not being moved by the wind quite as much. I'll try a couple of shots here. I don't know what I'll get. Let's have a look. I'll see what it do. I'm wondering whether it'll actually handle automatically focusing. It's making, yes, it can do. Excellent. My faulty eyesight doesn't have to come into play. 125th, the sun's just come out. I might actually have got something there. This is more macro than macro, and by that I mean that I'm zoomed in on probably a piece of one of the leaves of the flower, probably only about an inch long, and it's filling the whole frame. So that's pretty tight in. 90th of a second. Come on, wind, just give up for a moment for me, please. It's a nice day actually out here. Bit windy, but there's a few clouds scudding around. And I'm hoping for a bit of an abstract image here. It's not very obvious this is a leaf, but it's got some veins running through it, and it's quite interesting to look at, if only it would stay still long enough. Oh, yes, okay. Let me set up somewhere else and see if I can find something that isn't moving. Okay, I've found some more flowers which are actually down there. That group of, oh, don't ask me what they are. Sarah's the expert on plants, I'm not. But I can get in quite nicely into the centre of that group of flowers. Yeah, that's quite a nice shot. The only problem I've got with it is the yellow leaves, or the petals, yes, the petals, are covered in thousands of little grubby marks. I don't know if they're little insects or something, but tiny little aphids or something that are spoiling the shot. I'll take it just for the sake of having it, but Let me give it a bit more depth of field. Let me put it up at f38, and that's giving me 1/10 of a second, but luckily these flowers are not moving. He said, hopefully. I think I need a 2-second timer here because I'm moving the camera myself as I'm pressing the buttons. I can even see it on the screen. So I'll put it into manual focus. It's focused quite happily on its own, but it takes a while because the lens has to hunt from both ends, even though I've got a focus limiter on here to limit the overall focusing distance. I don't use it very often, so I'll let it focus once and then lock it out into manual focus, and then I can just fine tune it as and when. And I'm sitting at f38, which is, what can I go down to? f76. This arrangement can go to f76, blimey. 1.5 seconds, ISO 50, and the wind's blowing again. Stop it, wind. I think a 1/4 of a second f32 probably will work. Let's see, quick chimping session. Did it? Didn't it? No, it's not in focus. Well, it is in focus, but it's got movement. So I'll widen the aperture down to f16, that's 1/10 of a second. Put some exposure compensation -1 in, which has taken it to a 1/25 of a second. And let's see how that comes out. I'm expecting quite a... This is expecting a lot because the 2x converter is obviously going to detract from the image quality as well, but I think we might get something worthwhile. I'll just reframe that and try and find a flower that doesn't have all of the petals covered in rubbish. I think it might even just be dirt that's blown onto them, but no, that one's covered in it as well. What else have we got in the garden? Okay, I'm going to have a wander around. Might find some bluebells in the front garden. We'll see if there are any out yet. I think it's a bit early for them, but I'll have a look. Yes, the helicopter's still circling around. It's now just over there, and it's the police helicopter, so obviously somebody is being pursued or looked for. It's all fields, agricultural land over there, so it must be someone on foot, or they've lost an animal or something, I don't know. Rather annoying. Anyway, hopefully the noise won't interfere with the sound quality of this too much. Now, 1/25 of a second, f11, ISO 250, don't move. Oh, the wind's just picked up again. It's quite a nice little composition, this. I think there's quite a nice image going to come out of this if I can ever get to the point I can take it. I've brought you over to this side of the garden, not really to show you the pond, but to show you the Acer here, which is just starting to come into leaf, and it's very pretty, beautiful colours. I'm going to bring a tripod over, and I'm trying to, I'll set it up and actually try to get one of these fronds off this branch in front of us with this beautiful new growth on it, framed up against the dark greens of the bamboo, which is lurking behind it, and that might make quite an interesting contrast. So I'll go and grab the other tripod with the other camera, and we'll see if we can get something from here as well. Now you can start to see my problem. Everything's moving. So that's moving far too much for me to actually capture that, even at what's it showing, 1/4 of a second now. There's no chance. It's moving far too quickly. the focus is drifting off as well. So let's just get it focused again. Come on. It's having trouble. It's not wanting to focus on that. There we go. I'll lock that into manual so that it's not constantly hunting. Now, that's a beautiful little picture. I really like that. Just slightly frame it differently. It's moving as we speak. There's the wind coming along, moving it out of the way again. If only I could get a period of time where the wind stops enough, that I think is going to make an absolutely spectacular shot. So I'll try to be patient. I'll just wait. But I think you get the idea. When that's framed up nicely, that's going to look really quite attractive. So onward and upward, I will wait. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please give it the thumbs up, and please also subscribe so that you get notified when I upload new videos.